Corbin,
Here.
Zupan,
Here.
Vosberg,
Here.
Moses, absent. Jones,
Here.
Walrod is absent. Schwartz,
Here.
Wynn, Kennard,
Here.
During,
Here.
Reuter,
Here.
Cunningham,
Here.
Stokes, absent. Stepanski, absent. Becker,
Here.
Kavanaugh,
Here.
Roberts,
Here.
Maglioka is absent, and Du Bois is absent. $1,200 votes present.
1,200 present?
Yeah.
Okay, for anybody that's new, Matt and Mary are very nice people. It's just that nobody's sitting on that side, so.
Mary's a nice person.
Yeah. Okay, need a motion for the approval of minutes from our previous meeting. Mr. Reuter, motion, second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Communications reports of committees.
We received a press release from the New York State Association of Counties announcing that Oneida Supervisor Mary Kavanaugh was recently honored by county officials across the state for graduating from the County Government Institute.
Alex just walked.
And we have a vouchers payable report submitted by Finance Director Luann Randall in the amount of $2,197,955.69.
All right, first, I'm gonna have Tina Lewis. You want to stand up and have our interns stand up, say their name and where they're from, and they will be joining us at the next meeting up here at our desks. But they're here to observe the first day of annual session today, so. Okay, thank you, Tina. Yep, thank you all. Yep, thank you. I'm gonna kind of put Commissioner Fitzgerald on the spot. He has an interim, Ernesto, and I'm gonna have him stand up and introduce Ernesto and what he's doing interning, so.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay. All right. Okay, next we have, we're gonna do a presentation of Carnegie medals to Mr. Andrew Parent and Roger Combs. I'll call each one of you up here individually after I read what happened here and why you're getting the award. Today, we honor two Madison County residents who are being recognized by the Carnegie Hero Fund Commission for performing an outstanding act of selfless heroism. Andrew Parent and Roger Combs, both from Oneida, are the 2022 recipients of the Carnegie Medal. The Carnegie Hero Fund Commission was established in 1904 by Andrew Carnegie to recognize outstanding acts of selfless heroism performed by individuals in the U.S. and Canada. This year, there are 16 recipients nationwide, including Parent and Combs. There have been 10,307 Carnegie medals given out since its inception. Once you hear the story of what Mr. Parent and Mr. Combs did, you will understand that this honor is very well deserved. On June 21st, 2021, Andrew Parent and Roger Combs separately came upon the scene of an accident on Route 5 in Westmoreland, where a pickup truck struck a utility pole, overturned on its roof, and had a portion of the utility pole resting on the undercarriage. A fire broke out, engulfing the truck's undercarriage, while a downed electrical wire sparked and smoldered on the ground. The 72-year-old driver, Jack Pileman, who was badly burned and pinned inside, screamed for help. Both Parent and Combs stepped over the wire to approach the burning truck, where they worked together to free Pileman and drag him 15 feet away to safety. Arriving medics tended to Pileman and brought him to a hospital. Unfortunately, he passed away 1 week later. Though the final outcome was discouraging, the bravery and courage of Andrew Parent and Roger Combs cannot be overlooked. They risked their own safety and lives to give another person a chance to survive. With that, I am pleased to honor and to present the Carnegie Medal to Andrew Parent and Roger Combs. And to Mr. Parent, we're going to have his granddaughter Emma come on up, and we'll give Mr. Parent his award first. So come on up, Mr. Parent. Okay, next we'll have Mr. Combs come up with his family. Okay, next, I'm gonna let our county treasurer, who actually just won re-election the other night. She does a great job for the county. This is a very stressful season for her, but she always does a good job. And, she never gives anybody a hard time. She works within what everybody wants and tries to make it work. She brought her crystal ball this year. I'm glad she's buying new high-tech tools to help her out with her job. But we certainly appreciate everything that Cindy does, and congratulate her on her reelection. There's nobody that can do the job better. And I'm proud to sit up here at the dais with her and work with her, and we appreciate everything she does. So thank you, Cindy, and it's all you. So here you go.
Jeez. Thank you. I don't know if I can continue with such a big head now. So, or how to follow the awards that were just given. But to switch gears and talk about the budget. So the 2023 tentative budget is now or will be shortly available online on the county website, along with the budget message that is on your desks. We have been talking just in committee of the whole and in many meetings before now about inflation and difficulties that are not only nationwide, but that affect us here in our own community, between the inflation and some difficulty with recruitment and retention of employees. So the 2023 tentative budget does reflect those challenges. The total budget is about $141 million is what it takes to run this county and provide all of the services that occur in a county government. And that represents an increase of almost $12 million. When you look at that at percentage wise, it breaks down to about 9.4%, which seems more reasonable, I think, when you realize how much inflation is. And it doesn't just impact us at the grocery store and at the gas station. It impacts every single thing that the county is needing to purchase in the way of goods and services. And so with that, you might be wondering, how do we come up with that $12 million? And here's just a breakdown of some of the things that help to offset that increase in cost. In the highway department, we receive funding from the state in the way of CHIPS, and they saw a considerable increase in the amount of state aid that is reflected in the 2023 budget. Social services is seeing quite an increase in expense, but there's also increase in state aid to help offset that. Sales tax revenue, we talk about in your updated, probably about every distribution that we get, you receive an update on that. And as you know, that has come in quite positively throughout 2022. So we are projecting an increase in the budget for 2023, but certainly not up to where I think we will end for this year, but it nonetheless is an increase of $2 million compared to 2022. So that certainly helps to offset the total increase in costs. We were also able to increase our interest income quite a bit because of some more aggressive investments that we've been making with the higher interest rates. Still, of course, protecting the public's funds from any risk, but also maximizing the interest that we can. And so that has increased as well. You recently authorized a new real property transfer tax, and that is now a new revenue source that's included in the budget. So that all being said, the increase that is being proposed to the levy is about $1.4 million, and that is a 3.4% increase in the tax levy. And that does come just within the limitations imposed by New York State's tax cap. We're just below that limit. And the percentage for our tax cap limit was a little bit higher for 2023 because the county did have a 0 increase in the levy for 2022. We could have raised more in taxes last year. We don't get to carry over that whole amount. So there is a limit applied to what can be carried over. So that has been factored in as well. If you have any questions as you're going through, please don't hesitate to ask. The public hearings on the budget do come up quickly, being just next Thursday. So you know how to find me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.
Great job as always. Okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to do resolution 1 and then we'll go to the public hearing? Okay.
Okay, resolution number 1, waiving the rules for resolutions. This is Dave Jones, Chairman, A&O Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Schwartz. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay. We gotta do a roll call? Oh, yeah, it's 2/3. Okay, yes, go ahead. Roll call vote.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupian,
Yes.
Vosberg,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Pinard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter,
Aye.
Cunningham,
Aye.
Stepanski, Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
1,260 votes in favor.
Carried. Okay, next we have a public hearing for local law overriding tax levy limit. I need a motion to open the public hearing, please. Motion by Mr. Bernard, seconded by Mr. Reuter. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Is there anybody here to speak for or against the local law overriding the tax levy limit? Seeing none, motion to close the public hearing. Mr. Vosberg, seconded by Mr. Zupan. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Okay, moving forward with preferred agenda for Government Operations Committee. Resolution number 2, abolishing Office Assistant 2 position and creating an Office Assistant Claims Processor position in the Mental Health Department. Resolution number 3, amending the social media, social networking policy and procedures. Resolution number 4 and 5 are both authorizing out-of-state conference attendance. One is for NACO and the second is for Planning Department. Resolutions 6 through 8 are modifying the 2022 adopted county budget for ARPA funds, one for emergency management, another for facilities, and a third for facilities mowing. Resolution number 9, authorizing commencement of a lawsuit. Resolutions number 10 through 13 are entering into an agreement with ProArc Technologies, Microsoft, Day Automation, and LG Boucher. Resolutions number 14 and 15 are renewal of agreements, one with Delta Dental and the second with MVP Healthcare. This is Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Stepanski. Is there any discussion? Your recording is paused. You know that? Okay. Roll call, please.
Zupan,
Yes.
Fosberg,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Pinard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter,
Yes.
Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
1,245 votes present or in favor,
Aye. Or carried.
both.
Carried, both, whatever.
We know what you meant. All right, moving forward, Finance, Ways and Means Preferred Agenda. Resolution number 16, accepting the tentative budget as filed by the Budget Officer. Resolution 17, appointing a committee to review the 2023 tentative budget. Resolutions 18 through 20 are all calling for a public hearing, one for the tentative county budget for fiscal year 2023. The second calling for a tentative budget for Kwazलन Watershed District for 2023. And the third is a tentative budget for Clockville Water District for 2023. Resolution number 21 is authorizing disbursement of gap elimination funds to Madison County towns and villages. Resolution 22 is approving mortgage tax report for fall 2022. Resolution 23 indicating intent and directing the Madison County Department of Law to issue notice to Next Amp Solar. Resolutions 24 through 26 or 27 are all modifying the 2022 adopted county budget. One for tax advertising and expense, mental health phase 2, traffic diversion program, and children with health care needs grant renewal. Resolution number 28 is authorizing the chairman to accept grant funds with the U.S. Department of Justice and modifying the 2022 adopted county budget. Number 29 is entering into an agreement with New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and modifying the 2022 adopted county budget. And resolution number 30 is accepting a victim assistance program grant award for fiscal years 2022 through 2025 and adopting the 2022 adopted county budget. It's Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Fosberg,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Pinard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Corbin, Zupan.
Yes.
1,245 votes in favor.
Carried.
Moving forward with Health and Human Services Committee's preferred agenda, resolution number 31 is reappointing members of the Community Services Board. Resolutions 32 through 37 are all authorizing chairman to enter into an agreement with Community Action Program. The second is Community Action Program for mentoring services, Liberty Resources for Victims of Violence, Liberty Resources for the Office of Children and Family Services, Liberty Resources for non-residential, and with OCM BOCES. Resolution number 38 is entering into an agreement with New York State Office of Children and Family Services for disbursement of the youth program funds for 2022. And resolution number 39 is an agreement with Coordinated Care Services. This is Alex Stepanski, Chairman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of these resolutions.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. During. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jones,
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kennard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Bosberg.
Yes.
1,245 votes.
Carried.
Resolutions for the Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee. Resolution number 40 is entering into an agreement with Chittenango School District for use of special patrol officers. Number 41 is modifying an agreement with Morrisville Eaton Central Schools for use of special patrol officers. Resolution number 42 is entering into an addendum with the town of Sullivan as a secondary party between county and Madison and the sheriff's office with Chittenango Central School District. Resolutions 43 and 44 entering into an agreement with Department of Corrections for Community Supervision Office of Nutritional Services and Dr. Kirby Black for Medical Director Service. And resolution number 45 is authorizing the establishment of operation of an advanced life support transporting service within Madison County. Resolution number 46 is supporting legislation establishing emergency medical service as an essential service in New York State. This is Rex Vosberg, Vice Chair, Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution is made. Second. Second by Rhonda. Is there any discussion? Before we go, I think why don't we pull 45 out? How's that sound? And then we can
Excellent.
discuss that separate. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're gonna pull 45 out. And we'll put it at the end and we'll have discussion on it at the end. Is that okay? Everybody okay? All right, okay, so criminal justice, public safety, go ahead. Roll call.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kennard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
Cunningham, Stepanski, Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Bosberg,
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
1,245 votes.
Carried.
Resolutions for highway buildings and grounds. All three resolutions, number 47, 48, and 49 are entering into agreements. One with Kenwood Community Properties, agreement with Atlas Fence, and an agreement with Mead Electric. This is Bill Zupan, Chairman, Highway Buildings Grounds.
Resolutions have been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Stepanski. Is there any discussion?
Did we have conversations that Kenwood may not be the place for us?
No, it
Earlier?
is, it is this year.
Okay.
That's for our coming year, right? This is for year 23.
Next year, yep.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call.
Wynn.
Yes.
Kennard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
Cunningham. Supansky. Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan. Bossberg.
Yes.
Jones
Aye.
and Schwartz.
Yes.
1,245 votes.
Carried.
Okay, moving forward with the regular agenda resolutions. Resolution number 50 is adopting local law number 7 for the year 2022. This is Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Vosberg. Is there any discussion? Okay, roll call. Yep, roll call, please.
Bernard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
Cunningham. Stupansky.
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Vosberg.
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Win.
Yes.
1,247 votes.
Carried.
Okay, resolution number 51, authorizing the transfer of real property. This is Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee, co-signed by Bill Zupan, Chairman, Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution has been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bernard. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
During,
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
Cunningham. Stokes. Is absent. Becker
Aye.
or Alex. I wrote it in the
No.
wrong spot. I gotta get Alex too.
Yes.
Stupansky.
You're still new.
I'm still new. I'm gonna pull that card. Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan,
Yes.
Vosberg,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Win,
Yes.
Bernard.
Aye.
1,260 votes.
Carried.
Okay, resolution number 52, authorizing the chairman to request federal section 5311 consolidated grant assistance per public transit. Who's the third on?
Hmm.
Rhonda Wynn, this is planning committee.
You're up to bat.
You're up to bat.
Ms. Nguyen.
TJ is not here, Joe's not here.
Just move the resolution for adoption. That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Seconded by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 53, appointing members to the Central New York Regional Planning and Development Board. This is Rhonda again, member of Planning Committee.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Reuter. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 54, authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Egan Excavating and Equipment Company for tanker truck hauling services. This is Jim Cunningham, Chairman, Solid Waste. and
Mr.
Recycling.
Chairman, I move this resolution for
Thank you,
adoption.
Mr. Cunningham. Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Schwartz. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 55, accepting bids and awarding contracts for the Madison County Department of Solid Waste West Side Landfill Cell Number 10 Liner Extension Project. Jim Cunningham, Chairman, Solid Waste Recycling Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Second.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Reuter. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Oh, I know.
Resolution number 56 is authorizing the modification of the 2022 adopted county budget with ARPA funds for highway. This is Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee, co-signed by Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution is made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Bosberg. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Reuter,
Aye.
Cunningham,
Aye.
Stefanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Bosberg,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kennard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
1,245 votes.
Carried. Alex, I'm glad you joined them over there. They were feeling lonely today. There are only two on that side, so, yeah. If they give you any hard time, let me know and we'll do something. We'll move them down this way farther or something.
Resolution number 57, eliminating taxation for the Coasalum Creek Watershed District for fiscal year 2023. This is Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution is made, seconded by Mr. Bernard. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move for a amendment to that resolution.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I had my hand up. You told me to lift it up.
Yep, nope, we got you. So what's your amendment?
I wish to amend the resolution to more closely mirror what the committee had voted on. That in the third whereas, it was put in as for the fiscal year of 2023, where the committee had voted that they would begin at the start of the fiscal year of 2023. Just changing that wording just very slightly. I believe everybody has an updated version. I'd like to make that motion to accept that amendment.
Do you have that, Madam Attorney? There's the edits right here. Okay. All right, there's a motion on the floor for an amendment. Do I have a second on that?
Second that motion. Mr.
Second by
Chairman.
Mr. Reuter. Is there any discussion on the amendment? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay, on the resolution as amended. Any discussion? Okay, that's a roll call. So go ahead with the roll.
Cunningham,
Aye.
Stefanski.
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan. Bosberg, Jones, Schwartz.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Kennard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
1,245 votes.
Okay. Now 45, right?
And then,
45, yep.
what about McPlus's resolution that got ended to the
Okay,
packet?
we'll do that.
There was an additional resolution that came from McPlus Committee, number 58. We'll put it at the end of the packet. It's authorizing the submission of a supplemental funding request to the USDA Broadband Reconnect Program. This is John Pinard, Chairman, Madison County Public Utility Service Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Ms. Schwartz. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Now we'll do number 45.
Yep, we'll revisit resolution number 45, authorizing the establishment and operation of an advanced life support transporting service within Madison County. This will be Rex Vosberg, Vice Chair of Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Zupan. Okay, we're gonna open the floor to discussion. I believe Mr. Reuter has somebody that he'd like to recognize. Yes, sir. Okay, come on up to the podium, sir. Yeah, turn the mic.
Sam, can you check the mic?
We're gonna get the mic turned on for you first.
I want to start by saying thank you for allowing me time to speak with you today. I'm here to speak to this resolution. I'm the Director of Operations for the Smithfield Eaton Volunteer Ambulance Corps. we currently serve all the residents of the towns of Smithfield and Eaton, as well as residents in portions of Lebanon, Nelson, and Fenner. Thanks to our centralized location, we also provide mutual aid coverage to most of the other agencies in the county. We provide mutual aid coverage mostly to Georgetown, Madison, and SOMAC, which is in Hamilton, but have also aided KVAC in Cazenovia, Greater Lennox, and Vinyl in Oneida, albeit these are in rare instances. As the director of this smaller nonprofit agency, I have concerns. I have concerns about the livelihood of my agency should this resolution be approved. I have concerns for the future of my volunteer membership and paid ALS staff. In my role, I not only answer to my presiding board, but also to my staff and membership. 3 of our active volunteers are founding members. 2 of them ran CVAC's first call in 1996. I stand here today as their voice. I have come to appreciate the assistance that the county response vehicles have provided. Certain areas of the county could benefit from more assistance. However, I think there are different ways to go about this without the county needing to obtain a transport certificate. My agency is proud to mostly be self-sufficient. We have reached out to the supervisors of the towns that we provide service to, requesting support with payroll, only with payroll. This will help me keep ALS staff available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Perhaps financial support for existing agencies would be a better alternative use for the funds it would cost to start up and operate an ambulance. We need support. Every agency in Madison County needs support, be it from the municipalities or the county. Without support to assist with payroll, we cannot ensure ALS coverage to the residents that we provide services to. We cannot ensure that anyone will answer the call because unfortunately, volunteerism is on the decline. However, with this support, I can offer competitive wages in order to retain my staff. With this support, I can put money from recovery towards maintaining our 2 ambulances and our building, the same building that has housed CVAC almost since its inception. I believe that my fellow agency leaders will agree. We are all in the same boat. We aren't in this to be millionaires. Most of us started in EMS wanting to help our fellow mankind. Anyone joined wanting to make money has long since left the field. We do this because we love it. I also feel that once the county begins putting ambulances in service, towns may begin declining to support the nonprofit agencies that have dedicated many years of service to their communities. The county would certainly provide these services at a reduced cost. This would ultimately be our demise. All it takes is 1 ambulance. Again, I understand that a few agencies in Madison County need a great deal of assistance. I'm sure there are ways that we could work together to make sure that all agencies are supported without having to bring in a quote unquote new agency. Perhaps written agreements could be developed to ensure that existing districts are not infringed upon without the agency's voluntary withdrawal from that town or area. I will leave you with this final thought. As a resident of the community that CVAC serves, I would be much more comfortable knowing that the people that I know, members of my own community, are coming to help me in my time of need. Being ill or injured is stressful enough, but I believe that having a familiar face greet and comfort you in your most vulnerable moments can help take some of the stress out of the situation. Even though I've only lived in Morrisville for a very short time, I have come to know and truly care for the community that welcomed me with open arms and that I now proudly serve. Sure, we see some community members more frequently than others. That makes bonds and trust stronger. By adding county ambulances to the response tiers, you increase the chance of perfect strangers walking through any residence door. I would like to keep our community safe and healthy with the help and commitment from members of our community. For CVAC, that includes 4 of the 6 ALS providers that are paid and currently on our roster. A little help from our friends and neighbors is always appreciated, and we are always glad to be there for our neighbors when they need us. Maybe we can sit down with all the leaders of EMS agencies and town supervisors to better understand the needs of each side and come to a resolution. I think that we can come to a solution that benefits everyone in this room and those that we represent, especially the patients that rely on our timely response willingness to serve, unrivaled skills, immense knowledge, and most of all, our undying compassion for our family, friends, and neighbors. I want to be part of the solution, and I am willing to join with this body and my fellow agency leaders to help bridge these gaps. Thank you again for allowing me time to speak with you. I hope each of you has a wonderful day.
Thank you. Is there any questions? No questions? Okay, thank you. Dan DeGear, did you have something?
There's another number I would like to speak.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Zach Eversold. I'd like to take some time today to tell everyone in this room a little about myself and what EMS is in the public's eyes. Everybody has their own little imagination of what EMS they think it might be, but they may not know the issues that are had in EMS. So I started as a volunteer firefighter in Verona at the age of 16. Began to take classes here and there. Fell in love with the line of work. When I turned 18, I joined as a volunteer at Cincinnati County Ambulance as an ambulance driver, took my EMT class. Once I obtained my EMT, I began to work with Rural Metro, Vinyl, Cincinnati County Ambulance, working in the mix 80 to 100 hours a week. Roughly 2 years later, I obtained my critical care. I'm still doing the volunteer fire thing, and I'm currently in the paramedic program. I've been an ALS provider since 2016, working full-time, 80 to 100 hours a week. And as Hayden said prior, in EMS is a general rule that you don't do it for the money. You do it because you care about the job itself. In my career, along with other EMS providers, we've always changed jobs, jumped jobs, always trying to better themselves for better pay and benefits. And in most agencies, they were unable to provide the benefits and pay, not because they didn't want to, but because of the costs. I work at CVAC as well. They want to provide benefits, but the problem is the cost. And excuse me. And every EMS provider's goal is to work 40 hours a week or 48 hours a week and go home and be able to make a living. Unfortunately, if you do EMS full time, you're working multiple jobs, 80 to 100 hours a week on the regular. I've been doing it for the past 9-10 years, and takes away from family. As an EMT in 2015, I made $9.50 an hour. When I got my ALS card in 2016, as a medic, I was only making $12.50 an hour. Since then, the pay hasn't increased much, even though we have the patient's lives in our hands, and the state's adding responsibilities to our protocols every day. On average, currently today, it's $15 an hour for a basic, and for an ALS provider, it's roughly in the range of $20 an hour. The one thing that remains consistent in EMS throughout the years I've worked is the lack of benefits. And I've worked in Madison County, whether it be CVAC, Vinyl. I've been listening to the radio. I've heard the struggles of ambulances getting out, or unable to provide certain times due to budget cuts or money issues, staffing issues. I believe that in Madison County, we have the opportunity to alleviate the strain of EMS in our community. I know there's a giant elephant in the room that Madison County EM is going to take over the entire county, and that's that, and there's no other discussion. For someone that's lived in the county, worked in the county, I feel like that's the last case scenario, and that there's other options that we can go down. For example, making a blanket ambulance tax across the county and distribute the money to the agencies as needed to help better pay, better staff, better equipped these agencies and getting the benefits for the employees. Ultimately, that's why you're seeing, in my opinion, a big exodus in emergency medical services. There's not a really good retirement. There's not really good benefits. Another thing that the county funding can do is, in my opinion, is produce more EMTs and paramedics. To the public, there's not much knowledge to what it actually involves into getting your EMT, your critical care, or your paramedic. As to get your EMT, you have approximately 6 months of classes, 2 to 3 days a week, equaling 180 hours of classroom time. You also have to do some ambulance ride time. You got to get 10 patient contacts. From then on, going to your CC or paramedic, there is class 3 times a week, roughly 300 hours of classroom time, 220 hours of hospital time, and ride time, which you have to do 50-ish patient contacts, equating out to 350 hours. Throughout that entire process, it's all unpaid. So the class itself, it costs approximately $5,000 to $6,000 for your paramedic. And currently out there, there's no programs that aid in paying for that. Some agencies are sponsoring their employees to go through, but they're limited to how many employees that they put through the process because it's so expensive. And that's not just here in Madison County, that's across the state. And as I stand here in my Madison County Emergency Management uniform, I'm not speaking for EM or as an employee from EM. I am concerned with the status of EMS in the area. Like I said, I worked in Madison County. My family lives in Madison County. I graduated from Oneida. I went to school here. And when the fly car program started and the idea was thrown out in February, it had caught my interest because when I talked to Jen and Dan, what their goals were, I shared similar goals. Our goal is to make sure that every county resident has access to emergency medical care in a timely manner. In my time working the fly car, I've seen many positives come from this program and the short time that it's been live. From helping cover certain parts of the county that might not have a full ALS ambulance on, to backfilling agencies, to providing patient care, to driving around and finding somebody that had fallen or had hurt themselves. Us being out there is making a difference in the community. There's still areas, as many of you know, that struggle having ambulance coverage. And I feel, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far and the mission that we're trying to accomplish, that the county has a very, very, very good shot at fixing a problem or filling a hole. And that's the primary goal for EM. I would like to thank you for giving me your time. I just felt it was extremely important for the public to understand EMS. The general public doesn't really have a good knowledge base, and that's EMS's fault. There's not really much public knowledge that goes into that. But the problems, like I said, that are here are not just here, they're across the state. And I feel that Madison County can make a difference and make an impression on the other counties in the state. Madison County can set a precedence to help providers across the state and not just here in Madison County. Thank you again for giving me your time. Does anybody have any questions?
Questions? Okay, thank you, Zach.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else? Other discussion? Mr. Cunningham. I'll get to you in a second, Roseanne.
I asked that Roseanne Warner, Mayor of Canastota, and Representative Vinyl allowed to be speak.
Okay. Come on up, Roseanne. And Bill, you coming up too?
Hello, everyone. My name is Roseanne Warner. Yes, I am the mayor of Canastota, but I'm here on behalf of Vinyl Ambulance today. I have a couple of questions because I didn't know about this till last night. And usually I watch your meetings online on YouTube. So if you ever see like one person watching while you guys are doing that, it's usually me. I guess I'm a little confused about this. I know there's an issue, especially serving the southern Madison County sections for EMS, but I would encourage the board to educate yourselves a little bit more before you jump into this. This is a very drastic move. There's a lot of money involved here. I know that probably $900 and some odd thousand was dedicated of ARPA money to establish the community paramedicine program. However, I think some of that money would have probably been better served used to provide grants and sponsor local residents to get into EMS. As Zach already said, it's a lot of hours that go into becoming a paramedic. A lot of people can't dedicate that because they need a paycheck. So I think that the county probably could have done some good using that money towards that. I would encourage the board to do a financial analysis of what the payer mix is and what you will get back. You're going to have to apply to the Medicare and the Medicaid programs, which is no easy feat. you're gonna have to get a billing company, which I would encourage you, if you do this, that you put out an RFP for a billing program, a company to come in and do this. I will tell you, payer mix for vinyl ambulance, and we do 5,500 calls a year, mostly in the city of Oneida. We do go into Canastota, we come into Oneida, we're in Verona, Vernon, we go as far as Cleveland, Taberg area, Camden, Sylvan Beach, Vernon Center. Our payer mix. So out of the 5,600 calls, I think we were able to bill 5,000. Your highest payer in Madison County is Medicaid. So you will essentially be paying yourselves. Our payer mix, out of those 5,000 calls that we billed, 1,200 of them were Medicaid. That's what the payment was. Average reimbursement on a Medicaid claim is about $250, and you're going to write the rest off. Our second highest payer is private, and I can guarantee you, you won't get paid. So if somebody doesn't have insurance, you're not even going to get any money out of that. And the third highest is Medicare, which you're going to get about $500 and a copay that you're going to chase, usually because they're senior citizens, and it's difficult. They live day by day. The rest of them, Medicare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, AARP, Aetna, all of those you're going to have to contract with because they're going to pay you what they want to pay you. There's something called customary and usual payments. So regardless of what you guys decide to charge as a rate, they're only going to pay you so much. I would ask that if you guys do this, that the board have oversight over this entity within the county. I would like to ask if the minutes from the Public Safety Committee are available online. I'd like to take a look at that. You're going to have a negative impact on your nonprofits. They're already struggling, as you heard. So if the county puts on a couple of ambulances and 911 is the one dispatching, are you going to dispatch your ambulances over the top of everybody else's? That's not going to be right. How are you going to figure out who's going to get transport? Not only that, you're going to steal providers from other agencies for your own. Who's going to ride on these ambulances? This is a 365-day a year, 24-hour, nights, weekends, holidays operation. You're going to have to add staff, and I don't think 2 ambulances would be enough. Vinyl ambulance, we have 6 ambulances. 3 of them are ALS, 24 hours a day. And we are constantly paging out, trying to bring in more crews. Sometimes we have 6 on the road. Sometimes Bill Vinyl, who is the mayor of Sherrill, he and I both go out on a rig and leave the office empty. There's a lot for you guys to think about with this. And as far as pay goes, I don't know what other agencies pay. Full-time paramedic at Vinyl Ambulance makes $24 an hour. Critical care, which is a medic, they make $21, and an EMT full-time makes $16 an hour. We do have benefits. We have insurance, we have dental, we have retirement. We have a lot of things. The problem that we have is we don't have a lot of providers because of the education piece. So I would encourage you, before you make this decision, to really think about what this is going to cost. So town supervisors, you all pay, you give a stipend to your local nonprofits to provide service. If the county is going to charge that tax, are you going to continue to give money to SOMAC, CVAC, Greater Lenox? Probably not. And eventually that will have a negative impact on those agencies, possibly putting them out of business. So think about that when you're thinking about 2 ambulances. We run 3 just to cover the city of Oneida and some of the outlying areas. 2 is not going to be enough. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jim.
Any questions? You got a question? Okay, Bill, did you want to speak or no?
No, I'm not bashful, so. I just wanted to echo some of the comments that are made from the CVAC and whatever, I think everybody really ought to sit back and figure out what they're doing, because I think in the long run, you're gonna hurt some of these volunteers. And as Roseanne says, these towns, I mean, I'm a local mayor too. You know, you can't tell me that your boards are gonna sit there and continue to pay these volunteers their money. Because your taxpayers are double paying. So you can't sit here and tell me that you would continue to do that. So in other words, you're cutting their throat. There are only so many people in this county, providers in this county, so you're stealing from our employees too. I think you really need to be cautious as to what you're doing. I don't think you're going the right direction. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, Rex, did you have something you wanted to say? Okay, Mr. Bernard.
Comment was just made that 2 ambulances. All the discussions we had was 1 ambulance.
Dan, you want to come up?
So there's a lot of misinformation out in the public. And there's lots of reasons for that. There's never been even a suggestion of any ambulance. We've been doing is we've been coming to the board asking for what are the solutions you want to accomplish. There's been a lot of conversation back and forth, but nothing has been decided on any of those pieces of the puzzle yet. So that's ultimately a decision of the 19 people who sit around this horseshoe, which direction to go on this thing. We are working with every municipality, every agency, every area that's looking for assistance. And as far as I'm concerned, all options are still on the table, but that's just where they are. They're on the table. To move forward a CON for the transporting, that just opens up the options. Without that, the options are very limited. I won't say there are no options, but the options are limited no matter what you do. And I think it's very important that everyone in this room understands, no matter what you do, it's expensive. It's an expensive operation. You've just heard from all your agencies, give you some idea of the finances of this. Nobody's in the EMS to make money. It's the loser all the way around when it comes to it, because the reimbursement rates just aren't keeping up with the costs that are associated with providing that service. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where that alternative is not viable. We can't not fund these. We can't not support EMS at some level, whether it's the town, the county, the agency level. We have to do something, because what's happening right now is they are slowly bleeding. They can't continue under the same level of expense versus revenue that they're at. So I would encourage this board to echo Bill's point, to really think about this, study this, understand this, because this is a big issue. It's a major issue that we're facing as a state, as a society, really. So something has to change, and as long as you guys and girls are having this conversation, I think we're moving forward. But that's where we're at. So there's been nothing been put on the table. 1 ambulance, 2 ambulances for the county, a county-wide system to cover the entire county with 2 ambulances. That's absurd. That wouldn't work. I think everyone understands that. We've had some, again, misinformation out there. There's talks that the county is looking for support to buy ambulances today. That's being spread around today. Obviously, that's not on the table. That's not something we're talking about. So there's just a lot of misinformation, a lot of misunderstanding with this. But I continue to support you folks, what you want to do. I'm asking you to at least keep the conversation going, talk about what we can do as a county to help support EMS, whether it's the agency level, county level. We have to continue supporting EMS.
Dan, at the ESM briefing that we had, when we were talking about, and Mr. Vinall came up, and I believe the gentleman from Savick came up. If the ambulance, if we ever did get one, or if we could give them assistance, was to be for help them with long distance transports where they lose a lot of money. They were complaining about losing money on those, but this says within the borders of Madison County. So if he had to go to Westchester.
Yeah, so that's the operating certificate is for the county. We can go out of county. We can anybody can transfer these. All these agencies have a certificate of need for their territory. If it's a transfer out of their territory, they're entitled to do that. but it's a primary response within that territory limit.
I don't
What
think
that
we
means.
ever considered subsidizing anybody for transports to Westchester County.
No, I mean, obviously, in committee, and I think with Mr. Bernard, that's where you're bringing up, at the committee level, all options were thrown on the table, and those were some of the conversations that were had, is what could be done that could help these agencies, and is that one of them? Since then, I know we had conversation with SOMAC, and SOMAC has provided their numbers, and that would actually hurt them if we took that away from them. And obviously, whatever we do, we're not here to hurt the agencies. If a decision's made at the county level to move forward in any direction and it hurts the agencies, then we're not doing things right. We have to make sure that we are providing and supporting the EMS function in Madison County all the way around. Ultimately, it's about the patient though, and we need to make sure that we keep that patient focus in mind with what we're doing. We need to make sure we have EMS. Nobody in this room can schedule their car accident. Nobody in this room can schedule when they're going to have a medical emergency. You don't know where you're going to be. Maybe you're going to be home. Maybe you're going to be, visiting. Maybe you're going to be here. We need to make sure that as a county system, whether, including the agencies we have, but as a whole county, that we have good our EMS, emergency medical services within this county. That makes sense. That answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay, everybody good? Mr. Vosberg.
So I'm vice chair of the EMS committee. I just want to talk about how we gotten to this point. And please understand, this resolution this is step 1 of 50. If nothing else, the good news about this is, like the one gentleman said, we're all in this together. This is it's been brought to our attention. This has been a problem for several years. There's certain things you expect for paying $141 million budget in Madison County. You expect the roads to be plowed. When you call a police officer, you expect them to show up. When you call a fire company, you expect them to come. And when you call an ambulance, you expect them to show up. So that's just expected through paying taxes. The last thing we want to do is have a poor relationship with the agencies that are already out there. You're running this, you're making this work, but we're hearing the same things. Pay, benefits, training. I didn't realize it till I sat on a committee. We're kind of at a crisis level. And I'll just talk about DeRuyter because that's where I'm from. Dick Smith does a wonderful job, but he's in his mid-70s. And quite frankly, I've been told when something, God forbid, happens, it's not profitable for him to run his 2 ambulances to sell the business to someone else, unless they're doing something else. They want to supplement something. I've always looked at KVAC as being the prize, it's closest to me in Casanova. I've looked at them as being the prize ambulance service, and they're struggling. It's because of age, volunteerism's down. There's all these things. Then we have the CEO of Hamilton Hospital sit here in a meeting one day and say, don't wait till spring. I'm in a crisis level right now on getting transports out of my hospital. So it's everything. It's no one thing. It is complicated. It's a complicated issue, but from our committee side of it, we said, this is something that we need to move forward. Like I say, if nothing else, it's getting people talking. And we don't want to have an adversary relationship with our people that are out there doing the job, whether they're getting paid or it's volunteers. That's the last thing we want. So it's good that everybody's coming to the table. But we've looked at counties like Livingston County that have gone through this. They're like 9 years ahead of us. And there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed. What the right address is, I don't know. But this resolution just opens the door so we can start the process if we need to. That's why we drafted this resolution. We need a certificate of need to move this thing forward at all. But it's not saying what we're going to do, how we're going to go about it. We need the public intake. But from my understanding, there's a problem and we need to address that problem as a group. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Cunningham.
Well, if this is step 1 and step 50, I'm not comfortable with all these steps. I think this is a very complicated issue, and I'd like to motion to table this for at least until next week's meeting to discuss it in more detail.
I second that.
Okay, that's tabled. Okay. What else? do we have?
Yeah.
Oh, nobody wants to talk about that yet. Okay. All right. Last but not least, very not least, I have a proclamation here and a presentation, and Matt Ertz will come up in a minute and speak. Hi, you're not speaking? Oh, okay. Emily told me you had something you want to speak. In a minute. I'm going to call you up in a minute. So, this proclamation is honoring Bruce Burke. Yeah, we kept it a pretty good secret, Bruce. So, I first got to know Bruce when I became supervisor in Sullivan and asked him to come to our meetings. We'll play this first, okay? Oh, it's just gonna be pictures. Come to my meetings and tape them, and he did. And then when I became chair here at the county, asked him to come up here to the county. And Bruce provides a great service with PAC 99 for people who can't get out. I have people talk to me all the time about how they watch our meetings and PAC 99. It's just a little small channel, but I think a lot of people get a lot of things out of it. So this proclamation is honoring Bruce Burke. Whereas Madison County does recognize citizens and organizations for their outstanding contributions and accomplishments in our communities. And PAC 10 Incorporated, doing business as PAC 99, is Oneida's public access channel on Time Warner cable system and serves most of Madison County as well as portions of southern Oswego County and western Oneida County. And Bruce Burke has volunteered his time to serve the public since the first lighting of the station in November 1989 in the maintenance building of the Oneida High School. And Bruce has served as PAC 99 board president for many years and was a key player in the PAC 99 Oneida High School partnership and oversaw the move from the tiny building in Upper Lenox Ave to its current state-of-the-art studio location at Oneida High School. And Bruce and a few volunteers cover meetings, events, and presentations in numerous towns, villages, and schools, as well as the county of Madison itself. Bruce has long been a staple in our board chambers, recording the Board of Supervisors meetings with notable amusement, and is quick to provide a labeled DVD recording for our reviewing pleasure and evidence file. And I, John Becker, recognize that on behalf of the Board of Madison County Supervisors, do hereby recognize Bruce Burke for his long-standing and dedicated volunteer service to Madison County Board and all of its residents. May we enjoy his service and smiling face for many, many more years to come. So come on up, Bruce. Plaque says honoring Bruce Burke, PAC 10 Incorporated, PAC 99, President and Chief Videographer, 1989 to present, Outstanding Volunteer Service Award. Thank you for the generous commitment of time and talent you have enthusiastically volunteered for many decades to the Board of Supervisors and the residents of Madison County. We truly appreciate your service and enjoy your presence, Madison County Board of Supervisors, November 10th, 2022.
Really, just, I have been surprised for a long time. I thank you very much. This continues to be a pleasure. Which I've got kind of an itchy curiosity about what's going on. This gets me out to look into. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. And Matt has a little something for you.
I was looking through the archives, and this is like a 1895 picture of the Board of Supervisors.
You also see Bruce in the corner. We wanted to present you
Guys are something special.
Well done. I encourage anybody to go over and take a look at that picture. It's a great photo. With that, anybody wants to stick around for sexual harassment training, you can.
Mandatory, Chairman.
Mandatory for supervisors. And we will recess till next Thursday.
John,
Yes, Mr. Zupan.
I just want you to know that the Brewster is taking reservations for dinner.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And on certain,
Oh.
John, on certain occasions, they do have crow on the menu.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we do gotta pay on that one. Yeah, I lost on the bet on the governor's race, so, yeah.
We all
Okay.
lost on that one.
Okay,